Okay, so this is recorded directly, not right after, but a couple hours after the last one. I might just post this up the next day. But this is the next step, I guess. It didn't really get much done pieces-wise, but paint-wise, yes. And I did a lot of the gray accents on whatever pieces needed some gray. And right now they're all drying up. This part here, which is the blue piece that goes behind the right forearm, it was just too blue for my taste. Just way too much blue. There's just too much blue on the model kit overall, in my, if you ask me. So I decided to accent those panels, which are divided by a panel line, gray. Because I feel like this kit needs a little bit more color separation. Or not color separation, but color variation. It's got a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. Not that much yellow. Normally for typically just for the vents. I mean, there's not that much yellow on the 00 and the Exia anyway, but I really feel like this one is just a little bit lacking with the yellow. So what I'm planning to do, hey, let's go down here to the manual. For the V fin, for the head, of course, just like with the 00, instead of leaving it white, I'm gonna make it yellow, just like the 00. Because I don't know, in my opinion, I think it'll look better. I've already kind of pictured it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, just because I think it just needs a little bit more yellow. Now, because I also think it needs a little bit more gray, for the GN sword bits, I'm going to show you using the illustration. Now this piece here is that, the bonus, not bonus, but the extra piece that you got to use to connect the different sword bits to make the buster weapons. Now this centerpiece right there where the blue is covered by blue stickers, and of course I'm not going to use any foil stickers with this model kit. This sword bit here, the particular one with the handle looking thing on it, that piece there is a blue part. So how it goes is it's basically, let's see, it's two pieces. So you got the clear green and the blue one. You have to paint the gray, and then you also get this piece here with the sticker on it. So instead, to add more gray to the sword, and at the same time adding more gray to the GN shield, because see, that's where that sword is coming from. So it's over here. So to add more gray to the buster sword and also at the shield, instead of painting at blue like it should be, I'm gonna paint that gray, and at the same time here at this part I'm gonna paint that gray as well. So like I said, just to add a little bit more gray. Now here's something that I just started to do. I realized that I didn't use any dry transfer decals from my Master Grade Exia, and so I realized I might as well take this modeling to a little bit, just take one step a little bit further. So behind all that tape is, of course, you see more gray accents, and you'll see how that turns out. Basically, I got the idea, once again using a different model as reference, from the Perfect Grade 00 riser, or the Perfect Grade 00. Because on the inner side of the legs you have, the outside with the GN condenser, but the inner side you have a gray trim. And I thought that was a nice touch, and like I said, I felt like this kit needed a little bit more gray to it to kind of balance out the primarily blue. And so I did that. At the same time, I also applied a caution dry transfer decal right there on both sides. Now this one's a little bit lopsided, so I'm a little bit disappointed in that. But I'm leaving them on there for a minute just to make sure that they stay there. Because I realized when I opened up the box to grab this guy out, the paper underneath it was completely on the opposite side of the box than this thing. So I want to make sure everything is clean. So I guess in the next video we'll see how that turns out. We'll see how the other gray pieces turn out. I'm going to clean it up and put the pieces together and stuff. I still have to assemble the feet, the hands, and hopefully get to the head. I'm gonna have to find a toothpick or something to paint in the, I guess you call it the eyeliner. And I'm trying to make sure I don't paint the eyes themselves, because I want to take advantage of the light piping that this kit has. So yep, that's it. Catch you guys in the next video. Okay, so it's now actually the following morning since the last video that I recorded, not uploaded, but I recorded. And since I have time, I figured I'd do this because I noticed in the last video that I actually uploaded, someone asked me to show the tools and stuff that I use, and it got me thinking. I was like, stupid, I should have shown you guys that in the first place. And it's something that I typically do, but just lost track of doing it. So just making sure everything's here. So first of all, the basics, I use a gray and black Gundam pen lining marker. Black I use for the blue areas and gray for everything else. I'm also using a gray ink Gundam marker, and this is how I actually am getting the trim right there. And this is going to sound weird, but I don't use the marker. Oops, I don't use the marker exactly. I kind of just milk the marker of the paint, use a paintbrush like this one, and then just paint around like you normally would with any paint. So yeah, it's sort of using a Gundam marker, sort of not, but it's just something that, since I don't have the actual gray paint, might as well get the paint out of the Gundam marker. And there's a whole lot in here still anyway, after all these months and years using it. I'm using two different X-Acto knives. This is the one I use to shave off the excess nubs and stuff, and to make sure everything is clean. This is what I use to clean up paint that gets over certain areas that I don't want it to be, because it's such an older blade that it's actually really blunt, and I could do that to my skin and it doesn't hurt at all. So it's really blunt, and I basically use it very carefully to clean up excess paint where the paint shouldn't have gone. And so I use this a lot, definitely, for this area here, because this is really needs some delicate attention. So that's why it looks so clean, that's why it looks so perfect. On top of that, it's a white piece, so even if I do scar, it doesn't really show. And then when you finally spray on like a clear coat or something, then they don't really show all that much. But I would never do that on a colored piece, especially on a black piece or a blue piece. It just turns out really bad. So when it comes to colored pieces, I'm extra careful. So yeah, those two things. These are shish kebab sticks, which you can get at like Walgreens or whatnot, and you can also use the tips as a little paint if you want to do like detail painting. These, as you can see, there's tape at the ends. I'm going to use those to, when I want to specifically put a piece there and then clear coat it. So I use that too. These things are all I'm using for this particular build, by the way. Also, thinner and Tamiya clear green. Still have a lot of this in there. That's pretty much all I've used. Oh, there's one more thing. I can't really find it right now. That's not good because it's important. It's actually a vital piece to... Oh God, where is it? Oh, this thing, silver plate Gundam marker. This is how I do the silver trim, the silver behind the clear pieces. And since they're all circles, they're really easy to use. It's really easy to use the marker instead of just milking it like the gray and then getting a paintbrush. So I just do it in circular strokes, so to make sure that, sorry about that, the damn battery died. I guess I grabbed the wrong two batteries I charged. But anyway, I was saying, since the parts are circular, it's easy to use this marker just straight from it, or get the paint straight from the marker. And basically I do multiple coats. First coat I just go vertically or horizontally. The second coat I do either or vertically or horizontally. Then the third I do in circles, just to make sure everything is even. So yeah, these are the things that I've been using to build this construction. That sounds weird. To build this model kit. So far so good. I'm definitely gonna apply some clear coat wherever I can. I'm gonna be using the semi-gloss, so I guess I'll throw that in as well. Oh, and I forgot to add this dry transfer decal sheet from Master Grade Exia, or stolen from Master Grade Exia, because I'm not going to use it on Master Grade Exia. that's it. I think I'm just gonna keep on working on the rest of the pieces. So far, I've basically, while I was letting the parts dry, I was working on the GN shield bits. I got 4 out of 6 of them done. So you can see here is what I mentioned earlier. And there's only one coat, that's why it looks so funny. So I'm gonna go over that with gray. I'm gonna go over that with gray. And then the other shield bit that I haven't done is the one where I need to paint it with gray. So um, basically, I only have the armor pieces. Oh, and the head. I really need to get doing on the head. Now this is where it gets a little bit challenging because the head, instead of having circles like Xe and Double O had, it's got these polygonal shapes to it. So more like a diamond shape to it. And on top of that, there's 2 areas of the head where it needs to be painted blue, and I'm just going to apply it using the blue Gundam marker. This one, GM06 blue. I find that for some reason it shows up darker on the piece, on this piece itself, but if I just use one coat, then it's just gonna come out just as light as this. I've already tested it out on a white parts tree. It's right there, that little blue strip, and it came out really close, at least to my eyes. But you know, it's all on me if I get it wrong, you know. Alright, that's it. So see you guys in the next video.